getting good reception.
Do you mute everybody except me?
Well, that's one of the reasons that I like StreamYard. We're live. Is because, yeah, that's fine. So we are actually alive now. It looks like people are popping into the room. And I have the comment section on my bar. So welcome everybody. I'm Katie Harris, owner and CEO of Nursepreneurs. I'm here with Dr. Michelle Brown. And Dr. Brown, I give you the opportunity to introduce yourself in a second. But just some housekeeping things. Please put your comments in the comment bar, and we will get to them if they're relevant to what we're talking about right at that moment. I might bring them up, Dr. Brown. Otherwise, we'll wait till the end for comments, unless you prefer a certain way.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Then, yeah, really excited to have you here. Do you want to give everybody a little background about yourself and what you do and what we're talking about tonight?
Sure. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be working with this practice group, as I find that nurse practitioners are definitely entrepreneurs in their field. And with this exciting topic of regenerative medicine, I think your group could really make a difference for patients' care. So I'm glad to share with you what I know. I'm an attorney and a physician, and I've been licensed to practice law in Indiana since 1997. And, or actually, I'm sorry, 1992. And I went to medical school in Fort Lauderdale and graduated in 2011. So it was a second career for me. And I practiced full time with a really successful career until the pandemic, I guess, came, and we had a big hurricane here. And I decided to get involved with regenerative medicine. I had been involved with a Japanese company since 2011 that used human placenta for injection and regeneration of health. So I started learning a lot about that type of healing medicine a long time ago, but it wasn't until 3 years ago that I actually decided to train as a stem cell physician and learn about the powers of stem cells and exosomes. And then in January of this year, I started working for the Center for Regenerative Medicine. And I started out just as a part-time salesperson because I was semi-retired. And then Dr. Farsian, who is the owner of our lab, asked me to head up the sales team and the education team. So that's what I've been doing since the beginning of this year.
Yeah, and the medicine's been too compelling for you to stay in retirement, huh?
Yeah, I'm actually busier than I thought I was going to be because I not only head up the sales team and doing the education, but I go to most of our conferences and meet our doctors and practitioners, right in the field. So it's I've been traveling monthly now. So.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so I know you have a presentation for us. So if you want to go ahead and hit the present button, you'll see a whole bunch of windows pop up, and that's fine. I'll let you know as soon as we see your presentation.
Okay, great. So do the slides or share screen?
Yeah, I would share. Yeah, if you want to share your screen.
Will my slides pop up when I share the screen?
They should, yeah.
Okay.
Does it say share entire screen or?
Yeah, do I pick that one?
Yeah. Yeah, that one's fine.
Okay.
And then you see the multiple windows, and then you can just go straight to the PowerPoint.
So do I share audio also?
No, not unless you have an audio. Do you have audio clips inside the PowerPoint?
No. It doesn't give me the share button. Do you think I should go back and hit the slides first?
Yeah, you can try that if you want to go back to present and then share slides.
So did she put them in Google?
I don't know what they're in. Is this I have an automation with? What is this?
Let's
I would just share your screen because I don't. Did Christine get your PowerPoint?
Yeah, she said, I thought it was going to be loaded for me.
I don't think she did that.
Let's see. I don't know how to pull that up on here.
Do you have the PowerPoint on your computer right now?
I didn't pull it up, but I have it on my iPad. But
Do you want to email me the slides so I can run the slides for you?
okay, yeah, I can do that really quick. Sorry about that. We were under the impression it was going to be loaded, so, and I'm not that technically advanced. Okay, and what's your email?
Katie, CATIE at katieharris.com.
Okay, it's been sent. Sorry about that.
Well, see, you are tech savvy. That was pretty fast.
I'm good with my iPad.
And now it's slow coming in. Where are you? All right. Well, do you want to just start with your intro? And once I get the slides, I'll get them up.
Okay, great. So I think I introduced myself to you guys initially. So basically, the center.
Yeah,
you got them. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So like I said earlier, I'm working for the Center for Regenerative Medicine out of Miami, and the Center for Regenerative Medicine is about 25 years old, and it's owned and operated by our Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Farshan. 7 years ago, he opened up the ISO 7 laboratory where they manufacture stem cells and exosomes. And he sees patients in the clinic like Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and then he works in the lab as needed. So our ISO 7 laboratory is a drug manufacturing facility, but our products are all being manufactured under an IND, which is an individual new drug research application through the FDA. And all
is this the slide you want me to be on? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
So all stem cells and exosomes are manufactured under an IND at this time. Doesn't matter where you buy them from. And what that means is that the FDA has issued guidance on how to manufacture a potential new drug and what you can do with a potential new drug. So all of our products are deemed research products, but under federal law, as a practitioner, you have a right to try those products with your patients for the best outcomes. So navigating through using IND research materials isn't really that difficult as long as you comply with the FDA regulations. So I would say that definitely using a good consent explaining what the products are, the benefits, is a must. And don't get crosswise with the FDA. So if you decide that if you think that you would like to use exosomes and stem cells in your practice, do not, and write this down in big writing, do not blow up the internet advertising that you sell stem cells and that you're making cures, because the FDA will send you a cease and desist letter very, very quickly. And that's one important thing about the Center for Regenerative Medicine is that we've hired FDA oversight for our lab to make sure that we do comply with their directives. The FDA is not a body of law like a legislature or the federal lawmaker, but they do issue guidance on how things need to be manufactured in ISO 7 laboratories and comply with good manufacturing procedures. And if you deviate from that, your lab will get a big black X against it. You'll get an FDA letter that'll be on the internet within like 5 minutes, and then the quality of your products are called into question. So we've been manufacturing for 7 years, and we have not had any FDA non-compliance. And our products, which we guarantee for good patient outcome, has not had any adverse effects. So we're pretty happy with that. And if you guys join our American Academy of Stem Cell Physicians, you'll get to meet Dr. Farchian. You'll get to work with Dr. Farchian. You'll have access to Dr. Farchian. And you'll see why the Center for Regenerative Medicine is so close to his heart. You know, he used other products in the past and found that they weren't as high quality and that he did not get that great of results. And that's why he decided to take on this big venture and start our lab. So it's been quite exciting to work there and be part of quite a few procedures since January that have really helped patients. So that's, this is Dr. Farchian. This is our founder.
That's quite the photo.
He's a very interesting scientist, medical doctor. He grew up in the United States after leaving Iran, and his family experienced quite a bit of hardship. They lived in a car for a while, and it's really an unbelievable story about how they really became Americans and went to college, went to medical school, and really thrived here. His father is a famous painter in Iran, from Iran. But so the whole family is very, very interesting. And as you see when you meet him, that he's a very kind person and he really cares about the patients. If you Google him, you'll find out he's treated quite a few famous people over the years. And is just a very humble person. I think you'll really like him. So you guys can read about, his education and history, but I think the main points is that he's been practicing in Miami for 25 years. They just celebrated 2 weeks ago. They had a big 25-year anniversary party, and the center laboratory has been open for 7 years now. So basically, we can talk about our products really quickly. We sell 3 main products. We sell a matrix product, which is pure exosomes. And it has over 1 trillion exosomes in a 1 ml vial. And it has 234 growth factors. The matrix comes from amniotic fluid that's obtained from full-term planned cesarean section births. And we'll talk in a little bit about the screening processes and how we get our materials, but it has a high assay of growth factors and cytokines plus the 1 trillion count exosomes. And that 1 trillion count exosomes is something that we're very proud of at our lab, because we don't believe that there's anybody in the United States, Canada, Australia, or South America that is able to produce this type of high quality product. And that's through Dr. Farchian's patented proprietary extraction methods. All of our products are extracted on the first day of birth, and then they are minimally manipulated and then cryogenically frozen. So we don't ever cell harvest, and we do not add anything other than maybe a DSMO stabilizer to our products. So when you get our products, you have the guarantee that they are fully tested for all diseases. We do not accept any donations from anybody that's received the COVID-19 vaccine. And they are fresh products. The danger in buying stem cells and exosomes from labs that cell harvest is the possibility of cloning cancer cells. And you guys as scientists can go out there and Google the well-established research about stem cell cloning, and you can see the danger there. And this is one reason that Dr. Farchian wanted to have this patented extraction technique to ensure that not only that he was extracting the highest number of proteins, modulators, and stem cells is for this very fact that he did not want to grow cells in a slurry tank and risk the chance of research projects making cancer cells. So that was one of his main reasons in going out on his own. And then you'll find out from working with us that before he started his own laboratories, he was using other products where he would have to use maybe 4, 5, 6 injections before he would see results with people. And the reason that we guarantee our product for good outcome is because we know that after 1 or 2 treatments, your patient is going to see some progress. And that's part of our guarantee at our lab. If you buy a product and you do not see any results, you immediately contact us. You'll have a consult with Dr. Farshian, and we will provide you with another product. But to date, we haven't had anybody ask for that. So that's another thing that we're very proud about, the credibility of our products. So our second product is our allograft product, or our allocyte. And this is what we call UCB. It's umbilical cord blood. And our umbilical cord blood comes in 1 ml vials, and it's minimally manipulated and it's extracted the same way. I should mention, our matrix product comes in 1/2 ml, 1 ml, 1.5, and 2 ml vials. And our cost to physicians is $200, $400, $600, $800. And our allocyte product, which is a 1 ml cryogenic vial, is $1,200. You'll find that any products out on the market that are competing with us are probably higher priced. All of our products come in cryogenic vials, and they're shipped on dry ice overnight to the practitioner. Our exosomes can be kept in a regular freezer and sustained for quite a while. But if you're using UCB, umbilical cord blood, you need to use it within about 48 hours from shipment because it cannot be left unthawed. You would have to keep this product in a cryogenic tank or in a -70-degree freezer to maintain viability. And then, viability is probably for 3, 5, 7 years. We recommend that you use the products, though, right away, within a year to 2 years. But, we had a question from a physician a few weeks ago about, well, you say you have 1 trillion cells or more in the product. How much of it's viable after it's unfrozen? And we talked to Dr. Farshian about it. And my first reaction is that, well, 100% of it's viable. Dr. Farshian does believe that. However, we do take into consideration the fact that when you're doing cryogenic freezing, it is possible that a small percentage of the product could not be viable from the freezing. But we're not really seeing that the frozen nature of it is really destroying the effectability of the product.
Well, it would be the same for any other product, though, and they're in the billions, right?
Yeah, sure. And then our white paper is attached to this PowerPoint, and I'll just mention it right here, and then we can go down to it in a little bit. But we have third-party testing on all of our products. And you'll see from the third-party testing that our products are actually testing higher than just 1 trillion. We have samples that have tested 4, 5, 6, 7 trillion cells. So I think if you do lose a little bit in the cryogenic freezing process, you still have the highest number of count that you can really find anywhere.
So I'm sorry, what is the difference between the allocyte and what was the other one? The
Matrix.
Matrix. Yeah, these are two different products.
Yeah, our matrix is pure exosomes. So you have at least a trillion count with 234 growth factors. Our allocyte is umbilical cord blood that's trillion count, 4 trillion exosomes, 100 million stem cells, and 175 growth factors.
Okay.
So I would say with degenerative diseases, your first choice should definitely be to use the UCB. And then you can combine, the signaling proteins from the exosomes to really supercharge your treatment. The matrix, our half ml matrix, most practitioners use that only for facial rejuvenation, like microneedling.
Hmm.
If you're going to do hair restoration, it's recommended to use exosomes. And I would at least use 1 or 2 ml and then expand it out with saline so that you get a good coverage area for the scalp. But when you're talking about treating degenerative type diseases, I would definitely mix the matrix and the UCB together. And then our third product is our eye drops. So our eye drops are 4.5 ml. They contain exosomes. They come in a cryogenic squeeze bottle. And if you see patients that have macular degeneration, cataracts, diabetic retinopathy, other retinitis pigmentosus, floaters, those type of diseases, this probably would be our first line of defense for that, especially for people that are early diagnosed. The doctor that tells you, oh, I see a tiny cataract forming, or did you know you have floaters? Definitely start using the matrix eye drops. How this is used is we usually test our patients in the clinic first to see what they test on the eye chart. And then we'll put a few drops of matrix in their eyes and test them between 5 and 10 minutes later. And literally everybody can see one line above on the eye chart.
Oh, wow.
And you'll talk to Dr. Farsi, and he said, I really can't explain that other than the fact that when you're putting the eye drops in your eye, they absorb into the tissue and it's very close to the brain. So you're seeing that type of signaling change in a really short period of time. The 4.5 ml is recommended that you put in the eye every 30 minutes for the first day, and then whatever's left, you'll finish the next day and put it in, and then just kind of repeat as necessary. Most people are reporting that they have better eyesight. It's brighter, it's clearer.
So it's not something you have to do every day. It's cycled for when you need it.
Yeah, I would use the drops and then go back to your eye doctor in a few months and have your eyes checked and the things that are
And he'll be
causing
like, oh my God, what happened?
yeah, and see what's going on. My husband just started using the drops because he had a small cataract forming. So we're going to be really interested to see what happens when we go to the eye doctor in 2 months to see if he still sees that cataract. But I don't think it's magic. I think that if you have a degenerative disease, you have to maintain it and just kind of watch it and consider repeated uses of these eye drops. But they sell for $500 for practitioners, and practitioners in Miami are selling them for $1,500. So you can adjust your pricing according to what your market can bear on the eye drops, but they feel really great. And then just a little sneak preview, we are working on a really cool face cream that's going to come in a really beautiful jar in a nice packaging. And it's going to be a DSMO base cream with exosomes to use daily on your face. So keep an eye out for that. I can't wait to try that. I just did a training video on it. So hopefully we'll release that soon for people to see what I do with the microneedling and how we're using the creams. So this is our packaging. This is our cryogenic vial. Each cryogenic vial is labeled specifically to the donor that it came from. And you'll receive in your shipping package a little sticky paper with all the same information on it that's on this vial that you can put right in your patient charting so that you have a complete record of what product you gave each patient. And then on the right-hand side, this is our cryogenic squeeze bottle for the eye drops. It's pretty easy to administer in the squeeze bottle. If you wanted,
Is it milky looking? Is that white?
yeah, it's frozen. This is frozen.
Oh, frozen. Okay.
So you get it out of the, you get it out of the storage container and then you let it thaw. It'll take about 5 to 10 minutes to thaw, and then it's ready to start dropping in the eye.
And how it'll last for 24 hours outside of the freezer?
Yeah, if you take a break from it, we recommend just put it in the refrigerator overnight for the overnight stuff and then finish it the next day. So why do stem cells and exosomes work for regenerative medicine? We believe that it's definitely in the anti-inflammatory response that the body produces when they receive these stem cells. So if you downregulate inflammation, the body has an ability to start healing itself. And because the products are 50 nanometers in size, they're so small that when they have the ability to start signaling and cloning themselves and becoming specialized cells for regeneration. For example, if you put stem cells in your knee, it's definitely the goal that the stem cells become cartilage, right? So that you can have new cartilage growth, and you want to have angiogenesis so that you get more blood flow and circulation. And so we have been testing our products to prove our theory that when you receive these products, that it definitely does downregulate inflammation. And then you can see on the next slide is our chart that shows the mixed lymphocyte reactions that we observed in the samples, confirming the hypothesis that the reason that stem cells work is they're getting rid of the inflammation, they're creating new blood flow, new circulation, and it also helps stop pain.
So like in somebody, let's say they have osteoarthritis or something, if you did an infusion, I mean, would you choose exosome infusion or stem cell infusion?
Well, if I can share with you, I'm 61, and when I met Dr. Farsian in January, I was really suffering from extreme stiffness and pain from my arthritis in my spine. And I did an infusion of UCB with a combination of vitamin therapies like glutathione, vitamin B, vitamin C. And then I also followed up with exosomes also. And within 1 week, my extreme stiffness is gone and I don't have any pain now. So I'm actually like really, really excited because I can't even believe it really. Because I've had arthritis since I was young, but I hurt my back during the last hurricane and I wasn't getting any results from the previous things that I knew. And so based on that, I've encouraged a lot of my patients to get treatments, and they're all experiencing really great responses.
And like you said, because of the proprietary method that you guys use, you only need to do in one infusion, maybe two, instead of like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, he was actually doing 5 or 6 with some of the products that he originally started using, like 8 years ago or so. I went to see Dr. Farsian for a checkup last month, and he did a little scan of my back with the CT. I think it's a CT, the handheld, and he really said that a lot of the inflammation is gone out of those areas where he injected. So,
how long do you think? I mean, maybe you don't know this yet for yourself, but what do you think the interval would be? Like, would you do kind of like quarterly infusions just to maintain the response, or?
Dr. Farshian told me I don't need to do anything unless I have pain again. So,
Okay.
right now, because our products are definitely in research, I'm participating in that study with him. And so I will see him again in 6 months. And I can definitely keep you guys posted my progress during the 6 months. But I, I'm just kind of flabbergasted that I get up in the morning and I don't have extreme stiffness and I don't have pain. So
Yeah, I mean,
I got my
it's
life back.
yeah, I mean, because I mean, people will scoff at the price, but at the same time, like if you've been in extreme pain, like I think you would probably sell your house to get out of it.
Yeah. In 2 weeks ago, one of my, oh, are you still there? Oh,
Yeah.
something just flipped up on my screen. Okay. 2 weeks ago, I had a patient from Indiana come down to our clinic, and she was treated by myself and the nurse practitioner that I work with for an Achilles tendon injury from a pole vaulting event. And we prepared PRP, and then we added UCB to it. And then she received an exosome infusion with vitamins. And 3 days later, she texted us and she said, "This is the first time in 6 months that I have no pain getting up in the morning."
Oh wow.
So these type of testimonials just keep coming and coming and coming. And that's why I really hope that your nurse practitioner group kind of embraces this, because like I said earlier, you guys are really the pioneers. Medical doctors do a lot of this fun stuff too, but I think a lot of them are more constrained or a little bit nervous. And you guys are definitely, the pioneers in trying new things. And you will definitely be setting the standards for care with patients if you start using exosomes and stem cells with them.
All right, donor screening.
Yeah, so we get a lot of questions, about the safety and the ethics of using stem cells. All of our donors are screened for, as you can see, the 11 different infectious diseases on the screen: hepatitis, Chagas, hepatitis C, HIV, cytomegalovirus, another form of HIV, West Nile, syphilis, human T lymphocyte virus, Zika, and SARS, and then add 12 to that. We do not accept, excuse me, donations from COVID vaxxed.
That must be hard to find.
Believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there that did not get the COVID vaccine. So
Right.
And then, as I said earlier, we accept only donations from healthy C-section planned birth. And we don't accept any donations of any aborted fetal tissue at all. So we've got the best donor pool by doing it this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's separate sterility and endotoxin testing, just to make sure that after we do the initial screening, that there isn't any detection for bacteria, fungus, or yeast that could cause problems. And because the products are obtained on the first day of birth, there's no histocompatibility problems, because histocompatibility is not determined on the first day of birth. So it doesn't really matter if it's a female, male child, or what the blood type is. We're not seeing any issues with adverse effects with these products because of that. And so it's not, because of that, it's not determined. So,
Oh, this is the white paper.
Yep. So this is our white paper. It's testing that was performed by the third party. And as you can see down here at the bottom, the samples that were tested produced between 4 and 7 trillion counts of cells. So we tell you there's a trillion in each sample or more if you get the bigger samples, but I think realistically there's a lot more in there. And to share with you guys, I had used a couple other companies' products over the years, because when I first did my first stem cell training 3 years ago, I was going to open up a business with some medical doctors that were interested in doing this. And we did the training and we started with the products, but we really didn't really get that great of results. And I had tried those products too for my arthritis with just minimal change. So that's why I encourage you, if you guys want to get into it, choose a good high quality product. Then you won't run into any problems with adverse effects. And then you're going to get good patient outcome, which is what we want. Also, when you join our Center for Regenerative Medicine, we're a family. We're a small laboratory. We only have 8 full-time people that work there. We have right now about 10 salespeople across the United States. But you can count on the fact that if you call me or text me, I'll try to answer all the questions that I can. But if I can't, Dr. Farshian will definitely jump on the phone. And then if you join the American Academy of Stem Cell Physicians, which is the first ever training program in the United States, you'll be able to come to our conferences in October and February, and you will learn how to do all the injections on cadavers from Dr. Farshian. And you will meet our worldwide group that we've started so far. And through this platform, we share all the scientific papers, all of our protocols, and we give each other help, which is really, really important. Dr. Farshian has pioneered not only the neck, shoulder, and knee injections, but he also has a nasal ganglion injection that he's using for people that have Parkinson's and other neurodegenerative disorders. And that's really been a game changer. When you guys join our American Academy of Stem Cell Physicians, you'll see that our host is a very senior MD who had the nasal ganglion injection and has basically gotten his life back from a severe Parkinson's attack. And so there's so many stories like that to share with you. We also have on Wednesdays, every Wednesday except around the holiday time at 8 p.m., all of our physicians jump on and there's individual presentations about what they've been doing or what's going on with stem cells, exosomes, and they share that experience. And so you can ask questions. It's a close group.
Yeah, and I mean this package that you guys have is pretty amazing, and I think I've told you before that I've spent $10,000 on programs that didn't offer a fraction of what you have here. I mean, first of all, you have products worth more than $12,000, so you get to choose the different variety of products, stem cells, exosomes, the eye drops, $12,000 worth of it, but you're only paying $10,000, and then all this other stuff is a bonus. So you have cadaver training with Dr. Farshian, correct?
Correct.
I mean, that's crazy. That's, first of all, I would probably pay $10,000 just to do that. Unlimited
it's fun.
training with you. Yeah, I bet. I like to, I mean, that sounds sick, but I've done a lot of
We're all
cadaver
scientists
training.
here.
For neurosurgery, I worked neurosurgery for many years in the OR, and we did a lot of cadaver training.
Oh, wow.
But,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Unlimited training with you, also again worth $10,000. A cryogenic storage tank, because most of us don't have that laying around. How big is that, or what does that look like?
Actually, I was down at the lab 2 weeks ago because we just had 3 doctors in Miami join our group, and they finally got them back in stock. And they're only about probably, like, if you can see my hands, they're about 2.5, 3 feet tall. And the diameter of it isn't that big. So you put your gas inside, and then it has this little thing that pulls up, and you put your packages in there, and it can store really nicely.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds a lot more dramatic than that. So that sounds pretty simple.
It's you don't really need a big place to store that. You just have to get gas service at your clinic for the delivery of the gas,
which is relatively inexpensive as well.
Yeah.
So 1 year membership, you guys have weekly conferences. So, I mean, that's where all the training comes in. And I think that anybody getting into stem cells and exosomes, you're not just going to Google stuff and find what you need to know. You really need to be mentored into this process. So if you actually want to get into stem cells and exosomes, working with Dr. Brown and Dr. Farshian is like a golden opportunity. A ticket to the conference, which is in October. Where is that? Is it going to be in Miami?
It's in Miami. Yep. It's at
Okay.
it's a hotel in downtown Miami. It's a real nice place.
Yeah. And as anyone knows, all of those conferences cost it, that $1,600 value is spot on. That's usually what conferences cost. A guarantee that you'll get favorable results. That's pretty impressive. Free products for retreatment. That's extremely generous. Unlimited technical support, training videos, and certification in stem cell training. What's that?
Okay, so like I told you, Dr. Farshian started the American Academy of Stem Cell Physicians for this whole reason, to train people what it's all about, how to do it, so that you've got high quality training. And then one thing I left off here is that when you come to the AASCP, you'll get 20 continuing medical education credits for attending the conference. And then that first conference will make you eligible to sit for the first written exam. There's 180 questions. And then once you pass that, at the next conference, you'll have a verbal one-on-one meeting with Dr. Farshian. And if you pass that, then you will receive the stem cell certification training from him. And that'll give you 2 cadaver lab trainings. That'll have given you, so October, November, December, January, it'll have been giving you 4 months of intense training on Wednesdays, using them in your lab, meeting the physicians. And then you'll come to the final conference and you'll get your last test and your last training with cadavers. So
And the cadavers, you learn how to inject areas, like if you want to do a localized injection, is that correct?
Yeah, we do the neck, the knee, the shoulder. He teaches you the nasal ganglion injections. Also tinnitus. We have a specific protocol for tinnitus that we can, once you join, we'll share the videos with you. I just presented 2 months ago down in Naples to a conference about Dr. Farshian's technique with the injections. And he's getting pretty good results because, as probably a lot of you know, tinnitus can almost be debilitating. And Western medicine doesn't really seem to have good treatments for that. And Chinese medicine is not that effective either. So to have learned of this treatment technique and talked to a few people that have gotten it, and a good report on their sounds going down to like 2 or 0, or it's just amazing. So
yeah, that is amazing. And then you also help, like, and it's especially helpful to have you as being an attorney as well, because it gets very intimidating to market any of this stuff. So does the group provide some guidance on that as well?
yeah, we have a release that was prepared by our attorney that we share with our practitioners. And then we'll give them recommendations on what they should do about malpractice, whether to get it or not, and to use the release forms. And, but then ultimately is definitely up to you and your state laws. Like, for example, in Utah right now, their legislature is very progressive, and they just promulgated a new law that specifically allows patients in Utah to receive regenerative medicine stem cells and exosomes. And basically, the only requirement for physicians is full disclosure. And so to me, that is one of the most progressive laws I've seen so far. And it's going to get the medicine in the hands of people that really need it for regeneration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So. I mean, it's really amazing. Like, this is such a compelling offer. It's like the best thing I've seen all year, to be honest. Like, this is very, very generous.
It's comes from the heart of Dr. Farshian. He called me last week and he said, look, I really want to be able to mentor these people because I want the legacy to go on after I'm gone. And he said, make sure all of the physicians that are joining know that I can jump on Zoom anytime. And he does. He's more available like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I mean, he calls me on Sundays sometimes too. but he is available on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, usually in the afternoon after his clinics, because he
Yeah.
still is seeing patients in his clinic.
Yeah, because I mean that's the thing that we all need that's not really out there, and nobody's really teaching you. It's like, okay, I have this patient who has X, Y, and Z. You know, where do I even start with this? You know, because it all sounds really great and stuff, and then you have a patient in front of you, and you're like, oh, you
Yeah,
know,
there's
and a
always
lot
some
of them,
hesitation.
yeah, and a lot of them are really complex, you know, conditions, and you don't want to oversell it. You can't, you know, if somebody's spending that kind of money, you have to be able to speak to it as well. So that you definitely have. And could you just talk about that a little bit? You know, what are kind of some price points that you've seen? What are people spending to do an exosome infusion or a stem cell infusion?
Well, I onboarded a medical doctor in Connecticut, and her main practice was well, she was an emergency room physician for 25 years. And then she went to the A4M. And for the last like 15, 20 years, she's been practicing hormone therapies. So her hormone patients were just really always saying, oh, God, I got the shoulder problem, this knee problem, and, just different pain issues. And so when I talked to her, I said, well, Dr. Marie, I just went to the AASCP meeting on Wednesday, and I was talking to a doctor there who was using progesterone injections in the joints to help. So she got like really excited because she's, a hormone doctor. And she bought the gold package, and I flew up there in May, and we scheduled 7 patients for her first day. It was on a Saturday. And I helped her nurse practitioner, set up the little lab where we draw the PRP and put out all the stuff that we're going to use for injectables, got her needles in order. I mean, just all the basic stuff. And then the patients just started coming in. We screened them just to make sure, and we had them sign the releases. And then almost all of them got UCB either injected and then did some sort of vitamin IV therapy. And she made $21,000 on that first Saturday in the launch. And she, has product left and only spent 10,000. So it's basically up to you, what your price point is. But we recommend that practitioners, if you're going to buy UCB, you're going to spend $1,200. You're going to have a cost for your PRP tubes. You're going to have your IV bags, and some vitamins, which are the minimal costs. But I recommend that you double that price and then add $200 for your shipping, because everything is sent in those cryogenic shipping containers, and the shipping cost is $200 a shipment.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't have really any problem getting about $3,200 in this area for like a 1 ml exosome plus UCB, PRP, and vitamin infusion treatment.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's, especially if you can do all the things that you can do with it. Like, I mean, just your case study alone is compelling. I mean, there's so many people out there with so many issues that it sounds like this could help.
Yeah, because if you understand how to do the neurotherapy, and you can inject the facets or, into the joint areas and get that stem cell and exosomes working, you're going to have a benefit for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's that. This is what I was looking for.
Yeah, so this is our price list.
Okay. And then the matrix, so the small, the $200, you could use that for like facial rejuvenation.
Yeah, we started sizing that in the 0.5 ml for people that do microneedling. Obviously, if you're running low on product and you want to give somebody something, it's got 500 billion stem cells. But that small size is definitely recommended for the face rejuvenation. And then if you're going to do therapeutic treatments, always think about 1.5, 2 cc's.
Okay. Awesome. And is this how? Oh, this is how people would order.
Yeah, we maybe we could get Kimberly to pop on for a little bit. Kimberly is actually our sales rep that set up this awesome presentation for everybody today.
Thank you,
And
Kimberly.
Kim, I'm available anytime. Kimberly's available anytime. But Kimberly will be the salesperson to definitely take your orders. And if you guys have any questions, I can jump on. I'm available anytime, free, once you become one of our members. If you want me to come to your clinic and help you onboard, I just ask that you pay for my coach ticket and my hotel room for the night. And, I'll come and spend the whole day or 2 days with you, whatever you need, and help you get everything set up. But I can Zoom or FaceTime or talk anytime. And you can ask Kimberly. Sometimes we have late nights because we deal with sales reps in California and Utah.
Mm. You guys are busy. Yeah. So Kimberly, do you want to tell people, like, if they're interested, they want to ask more questions, that they should contact you? Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. And Dr. Michelle is always available if there's more questions that I'm not able to answer. So, but there's my number, 770-906-6455, an email. But yeah, I'm available always, as well as Dr. Michelle. And like she said, Dr. Farshian is always willing to get on a call as well.
Okay. Yeah. I especially for this webinar, like if people are really excited and interested and want to, they're considering this package and they have sales questions, that, to start with Kimberly, send her an email. Is it okay if they text or call?
Absolutely.
Yeah, text or call her. Yeah, just let her know that, you saw her on this webinar and you're interested. You want to know more about bringing stem cells and exosomes into your practice, and you're interested in that gold package. Now, do you guys offer any financing options?
Normally, we require it to be paid up front, but if there are specific needs, we will address that with each individual practitioner. If the $10,000 package isn't in your budget right now, we do offer buy 10 products, get one for free. But basically, that doesn't give you all of the training and the access. So
yeah, I want all the other stuff.
I would too.
All right. Well, I am gonna. What we'll do is I will put this. Oh, where did you guys go? Here we are. Sorry. I'm gonna send all this stuff to everybody so that they get this. And so if you didn't get that email, Kimberly, actually, can I just put your email? It was KIMBERLY at Geno.
Genorthix, GENORTHIX.com.
Okay.
Will you be able to provide the order form? I think we sent that to them, to you, to your group separately as an attachment, a PDF. So you could you could also email that to all of the people so that they have her email and contact information on the form.
Awesome. And if you guys have, I'm surprised we have quite a few people in here and nobody's asking questions. So what kind of questions does everybody have? Because usually they have lots of questions. But, if you guys don't have questions tonight, you can certainly email Kimberly. She can get questions answered for you. And she can, if she needs to bring Dr. Brown in to answer some of those questions, or Dr. Farshian. But yeah, this looks great. And I'm really excited to come to that conference in October as well.
Yeah, it should be fun. The first night we have a really nice cocktail party to meet and greet, so everybody can get to know each other. And then, the next morning it starts, with the education and practice.
Yeah, and you guys aren't like a 3,000 band group, right? Like, I mean, this is relatively small.
Yeah, it's pretty small right now. There'll probably be about 200 to 240 coming.
Yeah, which is nice because then you get to actually meet those people. And when you come into the ground floor like this on a topic like exosomes and stem cells, and being really I mean, you're obviously not first to market, but you're at that bell curve. We're on the low end of the bell curve to the left, you know. Do you need to use, well, when using umbilical cord blood, do you need to know the blood type?
No, because at birth, there's no histocompatibility assignment yet. And so that's why it doesn't matter what the blood type or what the sex of the donor is. And that's why you're not seeing any kind of adverse effects.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And when they use the matrix, do they always need to combine it with something like PRP?
No, you can inject it directly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can expand it. Like if you want to do some neurotherapy with it, you could expand it with saline, and you could inject the soft tissue, or you could inject the facets.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of nurse practitioners probably know the acupuncture points, and the acupuncture points are highly effective in using those for pain relief and healing.
Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Like I said, we will email everybody that signed up for this webinar if they weren't on tonight, and send them all the information. We can add the form as well that you guys sent, and have them reach out to Kimberly.
Yeah, you can attach the price list with the order form, and
Yeah.
that should give them the email and the phone. So
Yeah, because that's extremely helpful. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much.
all right, thank you for having us.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thank you both
Bye, everyone.
so much.